I mean, in my opinion, this green screen is going to be a disaster. Anything could be behind me right now. I wonder if it works. Oh, I'm in New York. Wow. I'm in Peterlee. Wow. I dread to think what's behind me right now. Welcome along to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel. It is the start of another season for Newcastle United, and it was a loss to begin the 2019-20 season. It was a difficult day for the fans, I think. I'm sure you'll agree. And these are the player ratings for Newcastle's 1-0 defeat to Arsenal at St James's Park. And my name's Emil, by the way. You can do all the following yourself if you want to. We'll start off with the man in goal, and it was good to see him there after a summer of speculation of will he be there, will he not be there. Martin Dubravka looked switched on, and he only had a few tests in this game, which was probably for the best. There was a great save from one of Aubameyang's first shots, but he was left completely open for the second successful attempt, which did lose us the game. However, Dubravka wasn't really at fault, so I will give our keeper a 7 for the start of the season. Next we have Javier Manquillo. He looks a different player these days, don't you think? Is that a guy going around in a mask? His form's carried on from the end of last season, which is good. He made some very good moves going forward. I think he linked up well with Almiron, but he still looks slow getting back. He panics under a bit of pressure, which Arsenal were laying on thick in that second half. So for that, Manquillo gets a 6 for the start of this campaign. Captain Jamal Lascelles is next, and he had a very tough day. It was one of those games where he was just caught out way too many times. Arsenal snuck behind him. This was pointed out on all of the analysis, I think, and he was nowhere near Aubameyang for the winning goal. It was 5 for Lascelles this week. A very poor start, I have to admit, but I'm sure he can improve. Fabian Schär next, very similar position, I would say. It was one of his off days where he struggled to keep them out. Like Lascelles, Arsenal were just getting behind him, and there was a few moments where he showed his strength, I'll admit. However, he was chasing plays more often than not, and I don't think there was much difference between him and Lascelles, so Schär also gets a 5 for that performance. Paul Dummett next in his usual role. Plenty of strong defence in that first half. I think he was pretty much up for every single challenge that we like to make him see him making, and okay, maybe he did slow down towards the end of the game, and I'm not sure if there's maybe a little bit of blame for that pass to Willems which led to the Arsenal goal. I don't really want to lay too much blame on one person, but a 6 for Dummett this week. Moving into the midfield, Isaac Hayden. He looked to have started on the right of midfield, which might have left him out of position slightly. He certainly seemed cut off by Arsenal and quite slow in this game. He was part of a very disorganised midfield. So Hayden gets a 6. Longstaff, equally quiet one for him. Pretty much kept quiet by Arsenal's pace down the wings, which really caught us off guard this game. I don't think Longstaff saw enough of the ball to dominate in the centre like he did for the most part of last season, and for that, because it was so quiet, I'm going to have to give Longstaff a 5. Longstaff went off early on, so obviously couldn't really do much to improve that performance. San Maximan came on for the final 20 minutes in his place, and I have to admit it was a very bright start for our new Frenchman. He certainly brought new ideas into a pretty flat second half. Against the right team, he could be lethal, and a lot of people getting excited about his performance in this game. So for that, he gets a 7. Shelvey, we're getting into the good performances now. He was by far the star man in that first half, and there was an early exit from him, which I think led to us losing our shape, but the 50 minutes that we had Shelvey on the pitch, it bodes well for this season. I think 8 for Shelvey. Obviously, the substitution was the turning point. Shelvey went off, Jethro Willems came on, and he was playing out of place for the first bit. The lack of alertness when Dummett did pass that ball to him, it was critical, and that led to us losing the game. He looked slightly clumsy on the ball as well going forward, but again, I hope he can improve, because it was a bad introduction for our new man, and I have to give him a 4 this week. Richie seemed to be getting some good balls into the box. He was back in his usual position, so maybe he's just getting used to that. There was some very hit and miss set plays, which we know he's capable of. And he was doing a lot of cover work for the defence, so maybe that led to him having to run back a lot more than he was needing to. A 7 for Richie. I don't think it was a bad game from him. Very good game from Miguel Almiron. He was showing that same flair since he's joined us at the start of the year. The ideas were there, and he was unlucky that nothing really clicked with Joelinton at the front. I don't think it's a bad partnership. I mean, it took Perez and Rondon a while to get into sync with them two. And it's a shame that Almiron fell foul for a yellow for simulation. It was a shame to see him doing that. I denied it at first, but looking back, it was like, come on, mate, you can do much better than that. But a decent opener from Almiron. I'll give him an 8. Joelinton at last, solo man up front. Premier League debut led to nothing, but not for lack of trying. There was an unlucky glancing header, slightly off on a few shots, maybe showed a little bit of end product. I think a few fans would like that to fit their narrative, but he's got time. Like a lot of the players in this team, we need to give them time. 7 for Joelinton. And yes, that was the end of the first game. A tough season is certainly ahead. I don't think Newcastle should be written off yet. A lot of fans seem to come out of the ground miserable yesterday. I don't think the rain helped, but the atmosphere at the minute is a little bit tense. So look at the positives in this game. I think there's plenty in there. Quick thank you to our sponsors of the YouTube channel. That's GEORDIE Gifts and Guillermo Clothing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next game, and that is in Norwich. That could be someone naked. See you then. Bye.